really learn their jobs. And once they did that, we got better every week, and the rushing attack gets harder and harder to stop. And we just kept pushing, kept grinding.
It seemed like it all really started clicking after the UT game. Can you talk technically, like when you're behind the line, what did you start seeing differently that enabled them to create holes and for you to find them and shoot through?
Just little things, staying on blocks, knowing who to go to, and just staying mentally focused, because sometimes they allow the game to be bigger than it really was, and that didn't allow them to stay calm and composed and to really know what they had to do. But once we really talked about it and practiced it, they really got it. And once they settled down, once they settled down, there was no way that they could get out of their game. We went from there.
How instrumental was Ty in that? Because, he's not just good on the field. The dude's like a genius. He goes out and gets like the academic Heisman and the Campbell Trophy. So, I would imagine that he played a pretty big role.
A very big part of it. Him and Neela, they sat those guys down and told them, basically it starts with them. So if they don't get it, none of us will. So, once the younger guys heard that and they figured that out and really took it to heart.
How much video have you seen on Clemson, and maybe what stands out about this team that maybe you didn't see last year in the game?
Watched a pretty good amount of film, and nothing really stands out. They're just a sound defense, rally to the ball really well, and they do their assignments. They are this year what they were last year. Nothing's really different about them.
What's it like when you turned on the film and you saw that it was an entirely different front seven? That those other guys are all in the NFL now that you played last year.
I don't really pay attention to them as individual players. They're just Clemson's defense.
Playing in a conference that's not exactly known for defense, except for maybe you guys, where does Clemson rate among what you've seen in the last 2 years of your career?
They're up there. Obviously you can't be top defense in the ACC for no reason. They're good defense, but they have areas where we can expose, and I'm not gonna say anything in particular on camera because I don't want to be disrespectful, but areas are there, and make sure we expose it.
If they turn the cameras off.
If we promise not to share with everybody else. This year's defense or last year's defense, which Clemson D was better? Thank you.
Last year.
Why?
They're bigger and faster. This year they have a pretty good size, but last year's Clemson defense, they were a lot faster.
How much has Joe done for you in terms of just complimenting you and taking a little bit of the pressure off?
People say he compliments me, but we compliment each other. There's I don't really know how to explain it, but he's just one of those guys that if he were anywhere else, he'd definitely be a starter. And we don't really have a set starter because we have so many formations that we can come out with and run the first play. And the first play technically deems you're the starter, but we don't really have a starter. But he's just, when he comes into the game, you don't know what to expect. He can beat you on the outside, he can beat you in the middle, he can go out on the perimeter and catch. He can do so many things. It makes our offense that much better. And then when we're both in the game, defense don't know what to expect. So, it's great to have. It's fun watching.
Samaje, can you talk about the success you guys have had running the ball these last several games? More than anyone else, it's really the game and the importance of that in this game.
Just got better week by week, and this game, we're gonna have to, because I'm sure they're going to stack the box and make Baker beat them with his arm, which is possible. But when you have that running game, it makes you that much harder to beat, and getting, like you said, 200, 300 rushing yards per game. I don't really know who's gotten that much and still lost. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to try to do, because we've been running the ball well. They've been stopping the run well, and but Baker's also been throwing the ball against one-on-one coverages. So we'll see what happens.
We've talked for a while, pretty much all season since the Texas game, about how the